Yeah, I'll take you all along on a hunting trip. It's a non-typical hunting trip. Real poor man's ideology. And it don't cost you an arm and a leg. Matter of fact, other than your time and your gasoline, it don't cost you jack squat. And you end up with you in your bow hunting. Not some blow staff, blowhard, talking shit, trying to sell technology. This is as simple as it gets, and it's free. For all of you that can't plant them cedar type trees, I'm going to show you what you can do to make a diversion. Well, here we go. Doesn't look like your typical hunt, because it's not your typical hunt. Matter of fact, there ain't nothing typical when you go with the non-typical Norwalkian. We're looking for trees, and there's lots of trees there. But them ain't the trees we's all looking for. Oh, right there's the trees we're looking for. Right there, throwed out. An endless supply of Christmas trees. Now what we do with these, we take them down to the farm and we use them ground blinds. You can see we've been pretty successful already today. Got a lot of Christmas trees on there. And we get another one. That's a lot of them. Yeah, you ain't gonna see no blow staff, self-proclaimed know-it-alls thinking outside the box like that. No, they want to get their name on somebody else's product and sell y'all something. God gave you this gray matter between your head, use it. See all this junk's out here? And guess what's in that pile? Another Christmas tree. Well, we'll get that one. Yep. Now you seen what, like I say, we take them down to the farm. You see what we're going to do with them. We strip them all down. You can use them for backdropping. You can use them to break up the silhouette of your blind. I think there's another one right there. I gotta get out there and take a look at that. Oh, that's just a wreath. We'll leave that. But that's pretty cool, though. You set that ground blind up, or you can make a blind. You don't even need a blind. You can take those and stick them around you, behind you. Make your own self-made blind. Don't even have to cut a tree down. And guess what? You take a deer, turkey, or whatever out of one of them junkyard ground blinds. You'll really appreciate it that much more. And they just set all that good stuff out there for the person with some ingenuity in his brain, other than just dead space. So that looks like we did a pretty good haul today. But that's where you get those trees at, especially on cleanup days. And I'll tell you what, as much as those cost, I know I got over $1,000 retail price of them. Matter of fact, I think we just got another one. Oh my God, we did. You just never know. That's pretty cool. Yep, there's another one right there, still in the box. We'll get him on the truck. Yes, sirree. That's why I say these all come from Norwalk, picked up by the non-typical Norwalkian. There's $1,000 or more worth of them trees on that trailer, and they'll all be recycled in the woods, and they'll last forever. Never seen that in my daytime. We'd been figuring out how to make them go. People just throw good toys away now. Well, I had fun taking you along on this highly successful hunt, and hope it stimulates somebody into thinking about outside the box, how they could Take one man's junk and make another man's treasure out of it. When we get them down to the woods, and I get them set up this fall, they last for years and years. And like I say, the thrill of harvesting an animal, no matter what it be, if you have encapsulated yourself in another man's junk, it's unprecedented. Well, that's it from the scavenger hunt with the non-typical narwhal kid. Oh, there's one down here, but it's a real tree. Well, that don't count. Somebody done sawed that one off. No, that don't have no value right there. But, well, like I said, you never know what's in them piles of junk right there. And they're all there for you to pick through. Well, let's get on down the highway. Alright, long time no see. It's the 15th day of May. Turkey season ends the 17th. And I'm always a guy that likes to play it down to the last hour of the last day. And we're doing a little scouting up here, and here's what we found. I'll take you over here. We planted this 2 weeks ago, and the corn's starting to emerge, but here's what my scouting brought up. And I was hoping this would be there. See that disturbed dirt right there? Turkeys have been in there, dusting in there. So that's a good sign. Just north of here it rained almost 3 inches, but this is fresh, dry dirt. And I know the turkeys have been in there making a dust bowl right there. So, and the corn is starting to emerge. Can't roll it real good, but it's coming on. You can see it right there, going up through there. So now, the turkeys aren't henned up, the toms. What they're going to do is come out to these open fields, and like I say, that is a turkey dust bowl right there. And so we're going to set our blind up right back in here. Now about 75 yards from here is the clover field. I'll take you back there. Now what I think I'm going to do is set that blind up right in here. This is the main trail that the four-wheeler's on. I hauled everything up here on. But I didn't want to set the blind up until I did a little lookabout. And so I can get in on that corner, and the turkeys are going to traverse, I believe, out to that open dirt field for the bugs and worms and whatever, and any hens. Right now they got to get visibility. So they want to see. Now you can look through the timber, it's all greened up and tall, so their visibility is limited somewhat. Don't take that for granted, but it is with the vegetation that has grown up. And right back here is the clover field, which is doing excellent. And I could set up on that, and I've thought about it, but I think I'm going, like I said, I think I'm going to set up about 75 yards away and let them know there's a hen in the neighborhood. You can see this clover really grew in good. It needs mowed. It's all of a foot high. But I know the turkeys will be in here in the morning. Yeah, what we have here is some of those Christmas trees that we picked up the other day. And, well, I guess they're not Christmas trees, they're artificial, whatever they are. Anyhow, we're going to set a couple of them up because that's all the time I got to do this. And just to break up some of the silhouette of the blind. So, you know, that nice thing about when that grass is tall and stuff like that, and the leaves are out, the blind gets broke up better. Not that it probably needs it, but then again, you got the material And I just want to show you what we're going to do here. We're going to put one of those cedar trees on this side, and then a small one over on the other side. So if they come this way, we can see out. You see that sticks out. Well, when we put that one big Christmas tree right there, we'll still be able to see out that window, but it's going to break up some of the squareness of the blind. So let's get at it. I'm calling tomorrow morning. Hopefully the turkeys will come from the straight east, and they'll come out onto this cultivated field because of, well, I say the dust bowl is there, and now you can see what that lone Christmas tree did. It really softened that blind up. I'll close that window up a little, but it definitely made it a lot softer transition when they walk out. You got the tree behind it. You got that new Christmas tree that we found on the curbside. And then over here we got another one. Now keep in mind, this is going to be shadowed up pretty good. Right here we're standing in where they were dusting this morning. And we'll be shooting from there. And we'll screen up some of that window because I don't need to be that high. But you can see how that other little Christmas tree is sitting in there. And those were, like I say, if you don't have a backdrop cover in the area you want to put your blind, those come in really handy. Yeah, now you can see that blind. Like I say, that clover field, I'm going to step that off, and then I'll let you know what it is. 93, 94. Well, basically we're 100 yards away. But if they roost up in them big trees tonight, which they normally do, they'll fly down. And if they hear that hen calling out there, they're going to go straight out. Hopefully my plan is straight out this mowed trail. They're not going to go through the brush. They're going to take the easiest path of resistance. They're going to go right out there to that cultivated field, and hopefully I can get about a 10-yard shot at them. But they're going to gravitate out to this open ground, especially if I put my decoys up there. And tomorrow morning I'll have a hen and a gobbler decoy sitting out there, so they can see them from a long ways away. And let's see how it plays out. So far, the only turkey you've seen on this video is the one that's talking to you. We've set up right. That gobbler was only probably 50 yards or less away, but he chose not to come this way, and it's right at 8 o'clock. So we'll sit here until at least 9. Maybe he'll come out here. But like I said, this is the only turkey you've seen so far. Turkeys must be practicing social distancing too. A turkey in the blind, decoy on the field. Keep in mind, the Mother Nature scheme of things, it's only 8 o'clock in the morning. Of course, sunrise would have been at 5 o'clock in the morning. So we'll sit for another hour till 10 o'clock. That's when they might come out to roll around in the dirt. Well, the winds came up and got that strutting tom is in perfect situation. If anything was off to the east, you would see it. And who knows? Anything can happen. We got about 20 minutes left to go. Oh, it is getting a little windy out. Well, there it be, 10 o'clock. Daylight was right at 5:55, so it was 4 hours ago. That turkey was gobbling pretty good in there, and I'm glad I didn't go in and set the blind up yesterday any farther in there, because he was about 50 to 60 yards away. So if I'd have went in there another 50 yards, I'd have probably kicked him off the roost. And turkeys are, you know, thing about turkey, they can come your way or they can go their way. It's all up to them. And but at least we had an enjoyable morning, perfect morning. I mean, a lot of gobbling going on, but I got things to do, and like I said, it's turkey hunting to roll the dice. When they fly down on that ground, they can come your way, or like I said, they can go their way. And that's sort of what's frustrating about it. You don't do nothing wrong, it's just a bird. Well, that puts a wrap on Saturday morning. Got things to do. Well, I moved the blind. I'm in the timber. It's got about a 35, 40 mile an hour wind right now. So I moved the timber. I didn't move the timber. I moved the blind into the timber. And as I got that all done, and I was walking back to the blind with my bow, and at 3:30, I seen those two toms that were gobbling yesterday morning at 6:30. So I know they're still in the area. My plan is I'm on a T intersection. They can come from the open fields where the dust bowl was, which right now is a mud bowl. We had about 1.5 inches of rain here last night. That's why I didn't go this morning. It's pouring down rain, ungodly. And so I'm trying to cover all the bases. Now, if they come back into timber, or if I see them out there, and I'll make a gobble or a call, hopefully it'll draw them in. And Justin Loftus shot a nice tom today, and I want to make this real clear. If you got a bow or a shotgun, the fourth season on the last few days is every bit as good as any time of the year if you're not burnt out. Most people get burnt out and frustrated because they call at the wrong time when they're in competition with the hens. Right now, the hens are nesting. The tom has to come to you, and he's got to gobble. He don't know that mating season's over for another year, and it'll sink in sooner or later. But this last week and the last few days is so good to call, but you got to have patience. And if you're burnt out before that and you haven't experienced what the action is, most people find themselves in a fishing boat at this time. But so we're playing it down to the wire. It's Sunday night, and it's a little after 4, so they'll come in to roost hopefully in the next few hours. I'll get my camouflage on, and if I was hunting deer, this would be cow shit, but this is just good old Iowa mud. You don't need all the celebrity hyped up. You can just, I'll show you. You got an endless supply. You just peel it off your boots, put it on your face. That was a little shy. This one's got more mud on it. Should have more. Yeah, there. Got good cheap camel. It's not endorsed by anybody. You know, you're talking to a person that used to carry the family shit pot out in the morning, dump it in the shit house, pump well water, slop the hog, get the eggs out from underneath the chicken's ass. And you know what? Those is what prepared me for life. You had to endure and use your imagination. There wasn't any pro-staff type people in the world on that. Now, see, I'm cameled up, and didn't cost nothing. So, if the dirt's dry, spit in it, all around in your hand, make a little mud. You're ready to go. And if you don't have that, you know the cow shit formula for the non-typical. Cover, scent, camouflage all at the same time. So let's sit back and see what happens in the last few hours of the spring turkey season 2020. Here's what we got going. We're in the timber. It's straight out there is a trail coming this way. You can come back into the timber that way, or they can traverse the trail that you can see right there. That way, we've got 2 travel corridors per se, and turkeys are like deer. They'll use, you know, they can fly over it, but if they're walking, they'll walk down an easy path too, you know. So if they come up straight at it, they'll turn, we'll get a shot, or if they come across, we'll get a shot. And when I say a shot, I'm saying 10 yards. So let's get it on. Yeah, another thing, when you're self-filming, there's some logistics that you've got to do. And the number one thing, you've got to have visibility, but yet you've got to be secluded. So you've got to hide, but yet you've got to be able to see a long ways, because you don't want your quarry, no matter what it is, just to pop up in front of your shooting lane. That doesn't give you time to get the camera running. You have to see your quarry, whether it's deer, coyote, the turkeys that we're hunting tonight. So you want to make sure that you can see left and right, so that it gives you time to get the camera on. You already got it focused where the shot's going to be. That's the other thing. That's going to tell you where, you know, you're going to shoot. If you're going to shoot it on camera, because that's my quest. It's just a self-imposed thing I like to do. If I was severely meat hunting, I wouldn't have a camera. I take it to the pawn shop and go buy bologna with it. But if you're going to self-film, make sure, whether you're in a tree stand or ground blind, that you can see both ways, so that you've got time to get your camera turned on and your bow in your hand, and let that quarry walk into the shooting lane. That way you're not all hyped up trying to do everything at one time, because it just popped up there. And turkey are, they're gonna, you definitely want to know that they're coming before, because you ain't gonna have too much time to get that camera on. So visibility, and like I said, you got to be secluded, but yet you got to be able to see considerable distance in directions. Nothing behind you, but left and right sure does help. Now, as you can see, I got this set up. The big tree to the left, the smaller tree to the right. That you're talking about a basically 4 to 5 yard shooting window. So that's why you want to be ready. So when that animal steps anywhere in there and you get on it, hopefully preferably about the middle of that. So you definitely have to see left and right and out in front of you, so you can get the bow in hand, get it full draw, and launch the arrow. Here's a tip for you. See these windows? That center window is, if I put my hand up there, it's almost 6 inches higher than these side windows. And if you're going to shoot out that center window, which I plan on doing, you want to make sure you brought some extra cushion to get your seat up. Because if I took the cushion down that I put on, and I'll show you. Here's the original seat. I had to put this boat float or life jacket thing. I put my tree stand cover on there, and I put a sweatshirt. All that was to get me up high enough to shoot out that center window. I don't know how many people have been busted because of that when they shot into their blind. Because like I said, if I put my hand up here, that's the difference between this bottom of this window and the bottom of that window. That's quite a bit of difference. And you can end up, you gotta be observant. Just because they made the blind doesn't mean they made it to fit your shooting arrangement. A deer wouldn't be a problem, but with a turkey, with that much, you could easily shoot right into that blind if you didn't plan and have something to raise yourself up to get out that window. Just things to keep in mind, that people sit blindly in tree stands and in blinds and don't even think of that. And then when action time comes, they have a bad result because they assume the window height and everything was going to be okay. But shooting out of a blind, you got to make sure it's level when you set it up, and you want to make sure that you can shoot out them windows. Well, I'm going to put a wrap on it. I ain't going to push no cushion with no turkey. I seen two toms coming in here at 3:30. And they were out by where I had the blind at, but I moved it in here. And they took off, and I figured they would be coming back. And they came back about 5:40, and they went across the cornfield. Apparently they went back across the cornfield and went into the timber, and I gave them an hour, right at an hour now, see if he would traverse down here. But I'm not risking shooting no turkey, then trying to follow it up if it gets any later. So I'll have the camera with me. If we see him out on the cornfield, that's cool. It'll show you the corn's germinated and it's up. So, but Put all the time you can in, and you never know, because basically it all comes down to luck. So that's it from my 8 hours of turkey hunting. 4 hours yesterday and 4 hours today right at. So short season, but you never know. It can happen any second. And I might be able to film something out when I walk out. So that's it from the non-typical. Yeah, I seen them 2 toms go out there on the, right on the skyline where the dirt is. They walk back across there. And you can see those 2 evergreen trees up there. Or those 2 artificial Christmas trees. So, oh, probably should have left the blind up there. They weren't too far from there. But that's the way it goes. This was the setup of that blind. It was hid pretty good if they come down through here. But they elected to go into the other part of the timber. Oh, but I got these 2 hay bales here. I'll put that blind for deer hunting season. I'm going to leave those 2 hay bales there. And then I'm going to put the blind right there in that bare spot. And that'll give the deer some time to get used to those hay bales. And when you put the blind in there, they're not going to go, oh my God, what's that? Yeah, the corn, you can see it's, you can row it. It's 17th day of May. That rain was a good growing spring so far. So at least we got the corn in. And gonna be warm this week. Those turkeys, I don't think I would have had a shot out of the blind, but I'd have been close.